From 1 to 100. This is a podcast where we talk about building your YouTube community from 1, that's you, to 100 so that you can make a living doing what you love. On the show, we talk about how to build a business as a YouTube creator in the enthusiasm economy. I'm your host, Heather Ramirez, and this is episode 25 of From 1 to 100. Yay, hello everybody, welcome to From 1 to 100. Very good to see you. Sorry I had to take the week off last week, which I will kind of talk about a little bit in today's episode. I was actually not going to do this episode either, but I figured I would do an update because I feel like I should kind of put a bookend on this. So today's live stream is going to be very casual. I put Q&A in the title, so if you have any questions about the show and the passion economy, the creator economy, the enthusiasm economy, this is kind of the opportunity I wanted to just offer. But just to open things up on today's episode, I think what I'm going to do is kind of call the past, or including this episode, the past 25 episodes, season 1, and take a break for quarter 4. So it's quarter 4, and when it comes to the quarters, I read the 12-week year. I highly recommend it, especially if you're if you're a content creator, entrepreneur, solopreneur, freelancer, human being. I think the 12-week year is a book that like everyone should read. So when it comes to the quarters, I'm always like, okay, let's think about what the focus is going to be, what the strategy is going to be, where to put my time and energy and stuff like that. And so this show, as much as it has been my baby, and I'm just so proud of From 1 to 100 and all the conversations that I've been able to have with some incredible people that I admire, I feel like it's time to take what I learned and explored and kind of package all of that up into pre-recorded videos that are very purposeful, succinct, straightforward, and are searchable, and kind of build this body of work. So I took last week off to kind of really think about all these things. And one of the things that I've been thinking about, I actually uploaded a vlog over on my vlog channel, HeatherJustCreate, talking about, live streams versus pre-recorded videos. And I love YouTube. I love every kind of piece of content. And I think part of what I try to do as a YouTube coach is just to be aware of all the different formats and, different kinds of videos and genres and niches and all these things. I try to have a breadth of what is possible and what's kind of successful on this platform. And so, I wanted to try my hand at doing an interview type show, and I'm so proud of the show. It's just been awesome. And, shout out to all you guys who are here. But I think now it's time to kind of see if there's a more effective way to kind of achieve what I'm trying to do, which is help more people make a living doing what they love. So it's something that I've been wrestling with, because if you watch my vlog, you can see me kind of work through this, like, okay, is it about the numbers, right? And the whole premise of this show is to just embrace the 100 or the relatively smaller community. And it's not that, it's more of like, there's a difference between a long form 1 hour conversation / interview and then just the, tell us in 5 minutes what the highlights are, what the takeaways are, what the main points are. And then if we want to deep dive, we can, so, and then speaking of the deep dive, because Tom and I have our Just Create More community, that's where the workshopping, the brainstorming, the masterminding, the deep dive happens. And I want it to be that way because I feel like this is the most effective. So now I feel like I'm kind of rambling, but I figured, I wanted to share a little bit about my own strategy, just so, I don't know if it's helpful for anyone, but let me check in with the comments. So good to see all of you guys. I feel like it's been forever. It hasn't been that long. Megan, what's up? Actually, Megan, I have to message you because I have a question for you about Discord. Aubrey, good to see you. Just plain bearded. Sorry, missed last Friday. No worries. I did too. So it wasn't just you. Rich, good to see you. El Jefe, how was Vid Summit? It looked awesome. Silver Lining Home Place, what's up? Rahul, congrats on your 10-day tackle. I have to catch up. I didn't see, I think 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm gonna binge watch that today. Melanie, what's up, Melanie? Hot tub lady, how are you? Anita, good to see you. Yeah, so there was no huddle up. You didn't miss anything. We're gonna pick right back up this Friday. Let's see. Hi, Angela. Welcome, by the way, to Just Create More. I saw that you joined and I started following you, so it's great to see you. Hi, Daniel. Good to see you. Yeah, Discord is my favorite platform right now. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. So, okay. So here's the thing with From 1 to 100. I have a few things that I kind of just want to talk about that I feel like maybe would be helpful if you're using me as a case study for the creator economy, right? Interviews. So I went into From 1 to 100 thinking of it as an audio podcast first, which I think is not, if we talk about the numbers, definitely YouTube gets more plays than audio. But there was something about the audio that really made me feel accomplished. And I think it's because it's a medium that I am not 100% confident in. That's where I wanted to level up. And I think I got an email last week that I crossed 1,000 downloads for this podcast. So I'm happy that like in 25 episodes, I was able to cross 1,000 plays. And there's just something about one podcast play that like hits differently than one YouTube view. So I'm really excited about that. But I'll tell you, man, planning and coordinating and administering a weekly interview live stream video podcast takes a lot of time. It took a lot out of me to, basically Tuesdays were shot and it was hard to be creative after the show because there's so much wrap up to do. And then like there are a lot of ideas that I've been kind of exploring that I want to play with, but I just don't have time in the week. And so that's why I was like, I think it's time. I think I've explored enough where I can kind of put this on pause and then start playing around with different formats. But one of the things that I was thinking about was that if I still did interviews, still did conversations with people that I feel like are, have something to share that's very relevant for the people who want to grow in this space, it doesn't have to be live. And actually, what I could take advantage of is the premiere function on YouTube, which I feel like no one really talks about. But to me, the way that I looked at it was From 1 to 100 was an audio thing first. And if you wanted to catch it live to ask questions and interact with the guest, you could tune in live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, that was kind of the appeal. But it's hard because not everyone has that slot free in their schedule. And there's going to be guests that just already have a prior commitment every Tuesday at 1 p.m. So I would never, there would be no chance for them to ever be on my show. And so I was like, okay, if I can take away the date and time slot and make it so that whenever I have free time and whenever they have free time, we can just record the thing and then I can premiere it, which allows there to be a real-time live chat function as you're watching the thing. It's kind of the best of both worlds, right? So I think that's what I'm going to do because there are still people that I want to talk to that, it's kind of a reason why I didn't want to kill the show because there are still people that I want to talk to. Like one of the people that I want to talk to is a community building person. Like that is her specialty. She builds communities, online communities for brands. And I think, part of the enthusiasm economy and passion economy is community building. It is kind of the product that is offered in this space, which I think is totally different from all the different kind of models that are in the creator space. And so, she's just one example and there's plenty of others. but it's just coordinating, which was really difficult. And I'm like team of one over here. So, if I had like a VA or something, maybe it'd be different. But so yeah, so that's like number one. The other thing I was thinking about is like, and I think this might be helpful, especially for those of you that are more authoritative tutorial type channels like myself. I feel like in the past 6 months, this whole passion economy thing really kicked off in April for me. So I discovered the passion economy late 2020. I published my video Making a Living on YouTube, which if you haven't seen it, that's what kicked off this entire show back in April. My favorite video that I've made this year. And it kind of describes my journey as to like how I, my past 5 years on YouTube, how I discovered the passion economy, how I think the creator economy is evolving and all of those things. But, I totally lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. I was talking about making a living. I totally lost it. Oh man, I feel like I really had a point to make. Hold on. What was the point I wanted to make? Sorry, I'm having an ADHD moment. Live streams. There's also someone who's like gardening outside. That's like wildly distracting for me right now. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot it. Darn. I don't know, it'll come to me. So let me check in with oh yeah. Okay, I remember. Yes. Woo. Okay. So 6 months, right? Let's see. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, so like 6 months-ish. I have been exploring from like an authoritative standpoint the passion economy. I even, kind of coined the term enthusiasm economy as I dove deeper into this and tried to find different delineations and patterns, because I will firmly stand by this point that I do think it is important for the creators and aspiring creators of the creator economy, because here's the thing, like the creator economy is here to stay. It's only going to grow, and people are still going to start today, right? There's a lot of info for the people who are they've already picked up the camera and they're going, but there's still people in 2022 that are going to start. So I feel like because this is like the fastest growing type of small business, it's important to understand the landscape so that you can set yourself up for success depending on the model that is the best fit for you, and you can make that decision knowing what your options are. So, I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that it's important to have an understanding of the landscape, because if you don't, you'll end up like me and just get super overwhelmed and like get pulled in 1,000 directions. And that's kind of bound to happen anyway as a creative person. I think everyone here has kind of experienced that, but I do think it's helpful to kind of see what people have seen success with before. So it took 6 months to kind of explore that. I had a thesis. I discovered the words passion economy from Lee Jin, who's an investor, and then Adam Davidson, who is an economist. And I kind of merged the two and applied it to where I'm standing, which is as a content creator and a YouTube coach. And I tried to kind of take that and explore it through this space by talking to all these different people. And so to me, it was almost like coming up with my own thesis also, and then finding case studies, talking to experts, talking to people who kind of get it, who maybe don't get it or don't realize that they're an example of what it is that I'm talking about. And we've had great conversations. But the other thing that I've been thinking about is there is a huge difference between an exploratory conversation. Heather is very curious about this subject, so she's going to just talk to people and see where it goes, versus Heather is a YouTube coach and like a passion economy advocate. Go to her channel for all the steps that you need to, make a living doing what you love. as a YouTube creator. Totally different angles. And I think one of the things that I kind of can't help as a creator is that I love sharing the journey, right? So I love being able to kind of take people in the car with me as I'm driving it on the journey. And if that means like, hey, I'm not really sure where this conversation is going to end up, which is why I'm talking to this person in the first place. Does that mean that they are going to, propose a different angle, tell me that I'm wrong, tell me that I need to look at it a different way? I don't care. Like, that's the whole point. That's why I want to go through that. But again, that's very different from, I already know what I'm talking about. Let me tell you the 10 steps and like, here you go, and I think one of the things that I've been kind of struggling with this past week is there's a lot of this exploratory thing, and I feel like not enough of the, let me just tell you how it is. So, I can think of it like, okay, let's talk about all the different creator tools or the tools that content creators can use to help grow their channels versus let me tell you how to use Canva to make an animated overlay. Very different, right? There's analysis, there's implications, there's theories and hypotheses that we're testing. And then here it's just like, I'm just telling you step 1, step 2, step 3. And I feel like there just isn't enough of that, because if I think about, I tried to get into a weekly publishing schedule, but it's hard when I have from 1 to 100, I have YouTube Huddle up, and then I'm also trying to make a video on top of like my client work too. So it's like really hard to juggle. So anyway, it's kind of bittersweet, because I know, even though this feels right now, I'm sure in 2 weeks I'm gonna be like, I really miss from 1 to 100. But I'm telling myself, like, it's not that I'm killing the show. I'm still very open to recording these conversations, but then, I'm curious about being able to use the Premiere function so that if you want to ask questions in real time, I'll be there, but at least you could have heard from a guest who isn't normally available at Tuesday at 1 p.m. And then, I can even imagine, let me just take a day, like October 15th, book all my guests, and then I'll just have all those videos ready to go, and I could just schedule them out. So, basically, like, I was very limited with this format, and I kind of want to break out of that. So that's where I'm at with the show. But otherwise, like, I thought, looking back, I'm super proud of every episode. There was a lot that, if I think about it overall as a debrief, I feel like my thesis was correct. I do believe that you can build a business, you can make a living doing what you love without having a large audience. And I do feel like there is something about the from 1 to 100 aspect that focuses on community building, focuses on a super value-based product that is transformational and impactful to the audience. That's a different approach to, like, if the value is strictly the YouTube video and it's purely entertainment, you have to crunch out that's the value, right? You have to constantly crunch out content. I'm happy that I was able to kind of shed light on case studies of people who are seeing success with this model. And then also, like, probably one of my favorite episodes was with Dee Dee, which was the most recent one from 2 weeks ago. Dee Dee Jones is our financial advisor, but she was also talking about just the business side of things of, what kind of business structure do you need? How do you even pay yourself? What are, taxes? Like, how do we navigate this stuff? And I think that's kind of some of the stuff that isn't really talked about a lot in this space. So, but going off of that, I think it would be really good to just have a quick, 7-minute video that kind of breaks down the like basics, you know what I mean? Versus having an hour-long podcast. Of course, it's available. I'm not going to take them down or anything, but these are kind of the things that I've been thinking about. So let me pop into just to check in with you guys. Sorry, I've been rambling. Homesick Max at a business conference. Yay, I'm so glad. Tips on thumbnails helped. Christmas Clatter, what's up? You have your live stream tomorrow. Tommy Bernard says, premieres are treated like lives in the algorithm. That's why people avoid them. When they are finished, it even says streamed X ago. So they avoid them because they're like live streams. I'm confused. I'd love to know more, or I'd love to hear more what you're saying. Let's see. I think totally makes sense. Community building online is huge. Most of my interviews are recorded at 9 p.m. Central. I think premieres make sense when you consistently have people set to a time, and I think this show where it is audio first would totally make sense for them. Yes. Thank you, Keely. Sorry I'm late. What's up, Roy? Good to see you. Paul is up in here. What's up? All you have done so far has informed your future. So excited for all this to come. By the way, HR, I loved everything you said on Ken's Creator Couch last Monday. I'm learning a lot from so many great people in the creator community. That's so great. Yeah, I mean, creator community is... I'm thankful every day that this is a space that I get to be in, because it's full of people who are super... Like, I admire everybody in this space regardless of where you are in your YouTube journey. It's just such a welcoming, awesome community. Sammy, what's up? Sometimes we are only a few steps in front of our community, so we have to learn so much to be able to share it. Yes, yeah. Okay, so that's what I was, kind of just wanting to do an update on. So in terms of this channel, well, let's talk about the brand overall. I'm very curious about vlogs. I'm not going to say that I'll get back into them regularly, but like I said, I just uploaded a vlog over on my HeatherJustCreate channel, and Tom and I had a great time. And, I'm curious. Like, I feel like maybe that's what I need, is to kind of do something different. So I've got my eye on that. Over here, I want to start doing more tutorials that not only are about helping you grow a YouTube channel, but also help you develop services and products that help you make a living off of your YouTube channel. So yes, I can have the tutorials that teach you about, how to use Canva to make an end screen, but I think it's also, or, how to make your interview overlays in Ecamm, but how do you use Mighty Networks to, build a paid community? And especially after yesterday, I think most people maybe knew that Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp and that whole, cloud of apps shut down for 6 hours, which I think for a lot of people was like a breath of fresh air. Like, okay, yay. We don't 6 hours, no social media or whatever. But there are so many people whose livelihoods depend on these platforms. So it's like, it's like a natural disaster for a lot of people whose business relies on having those social media platforms open, which is like one of the things, this is why we have a Mighty Network, because I don't know if our channel gets deleted or whatever. Not only do we have a platform off of these other big platforms, but Mighty Networks allows you to give you the email addresses. So if I needed to connect with my people, I can communicate with them directly. So it's like you're not renting an audience. You have direct communication, direct access. There is no middle person. Whereas like if you are depending on Facebook or YouTube or WhatsApp or Instagram to be able to communicate with your people, it's, if something happens to the middleman, you're kind of in trouble. So these are kind of the videos that I'm thinking that I want to make more of. If I can get to, since I won't be doing from 1 to 100, at least for quarter 4, I would love to get to a twice a week schedule. I think that would be awesome. And I feel like I do this once a year where like in 2019, I took the last 6 months of 2019 and I made 2 videos a week, and I just crunched them out. And those are still some of my most popular videos. So I kind of just want to do that again, and really build out the library and make more videos that I feel like kind of pertain to this thing that I've been talking about on From 1 to 100, because I think that's the thing that sets me apart. Like, anybody can teach you how to use Ecamm or Canva or, you know, how to vlog or whatever. There's plenty of people talking about that, but the thing that I'm particularly interested in, and frankly, the thing that I feel like I specialize in, is the, you know, how to build a service or product that caters to the community that you've built through your content. Whether that be through a Mighty Networks or through, like, let's make a landing page using Leadpages so that you can start collecting email addresses and be able to talk to your people directly. You know, a lot of the people that I talk to don't have something like a ConvertKit or an email service provider outside of a Gmail, which I think is like so necessary. You can't have a business without having a book of business where you can talk to your people directly. So, so anyway, I can keep going and going, but that's my whole deal, is I'm going to start making videos about that. So if you have any special requests and would, you know, have suggestions on what I can make videos about, that would be great. I'm totally open to them. Dr. Sev is here. Congrats on 25 episodes. That was a good vlog. Thank you, Megan. To that, I was just debating today about getting someone to help me strategize and monetize my business outside of client services. I have ideas, but really need help putting it together. Yes. I feel like that's been happening a lot lately. Like, a lot of the conversations around content creation have been about, like, okay, how do we be strategic for the long game? I feel like a lot of people are going through that. And maybe it's because it's quarter four. Quarter four is a lot of, like, we're getting ready for the next year. So that's a lot of that conversation happening. The shutdown was a much needed reminder to have our own platforms we have control over. Yes. Hey, Ash, was late to catch the start of this. Getting to my little guy. How's it going? I was looking at pricing my networks this morning as a way to create a group. I do have a small email list, but would love to have a group so I can focus on helping with one-on-one group service. So I think I told you guys this last From 1 to 100. I think on the YouTube Huddle up. So I actually got my new client is actually Mighty Networks, which I'm excited about. So if you want to learn more about Mighty Networks, I'm actually making these videos over on their channel, because I had an opportunity of, like, I can make these videos on this channel, but I don't want this channel to turn into strictly, like, community building, because that's one aspect of it. But I still want to be able to I'm a YouTube coach, right? So I still want to be able to make videos about whatever. And then they were like, hey, we would love to have those videos. So it kind of was a perfect thing. But the most recent video I put out on their channel was Mighty Networks versus Kajabi. So Mighty Networks, which, if you know me, I talk about it all the time, but the part that I feel like I don't talk about a lot is that they have an online course feature. So if you want to be able to sell and offer online courses, you could do that directly through Mighty Networks. And I actually offer my online course, 02 to Hero, in the Just Create More community. So if you're in Just Create More, you could go into the sidebar and then you can sign up for 02 to Hero, which is the blueprint to help you build a thriving YouTube channel from scratch. And then you can also sign up for our monthly mastermind, which is a monthly membership. So, and you just do that directly, which is great, because then everything's just all in one. But yes, I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, what kind of content is going to be the most helpful for people who are really wanting to, I was just talking to my friend earlier who was like, I want to look at YouTube as my full-time job. Like, how do we get to that point where we are building a sustainable business through the content that we're creating? That's my mission. Like, that's what I really want to help people to do. All right. Let's see. I feel like I feel like I need to start an email list. I just feel like I'm still a tad bit too small for that. That's not true. This podcast is called From 1 to 100. Megan, you could totally start, throw up a landing page, make that ish in 10 minutes, and, you know, give them a freebie that's like, here's your guide for, you know, how to build your first app with whatever it is. And then, you know, you could sign up for something like ConvertKit, which is, they have a free basic plan, and then you could just program it where, you know, people fill in their email, and then the confirmation email has a download that's free. So at least there's an incentive for them to get onto your email list in the first place, and then just have the emails. You don't even have to like have a newsletter. You don't have to have a, you know, you can figure all that out later, but I don't think it's early. I think everyone should be collecting email, because that's it. You know, like, forget subscribers, forget followers, forget all that. The thing that matters is, do you have the phone book of the people that you can potentially sell to? That's the thing that matters. And it's never too early to start building that. All right, ideas. YouTube Studio stuff would be good. Also, mail list, how to get started on that. Great. Thanks, Roy. That'll be my first video. I'll make that video next. How to get started with mailing lists. That's actually been on my list for a while, but see, this is why I go live, so I can ask you. Q4, let's go. Let's see. There you go. Just start collecting emails. Even if you can't get them content, you want those early fans, and catching up later is so hard. Yeah. I mean, literally, if you can get the emails now, just have them sit there in a, you know, in your email service provider. It's fine. You don't, just as long as you have it, that's what makes sense. Or that's what's important. I've been starting to make an email list slow and steady. I started collecting emails long before I sent email newsletters. I recently revamped my website and added a freebie so I could collect emails. So freebie may be one way for you. I actually think that everybody should do a freebie, because here's the thing. 99% of people are not going to sign up for an email list for funsies, right? Like, this is the whole thing with From 1 to 100, is that it's value first. So, just like I don't think anyone cares about Heather Ramirez, they care about building their YouTube channel. And then when I give them a tutorial, then you're like, oh, okay, who is this person? Now I care about the creator. It's got to be value first. So I definitely think that freebie, something, you know, actually to get on my mailing list, I have a webinar. So I think you can actually find this in the description under every single one of my videos, but it's my YouTube Jumpstart webinar. 5 steps to jumpstarting your YouTube channel. So I recorded that webinar, and you just put in your email and you get the link to the webinar for free. And that's it. And I think it goes into an email automation that funnels people to the Just Create More community if they want to join. But that's how mine's set up. And you could totally do all this for free. Wait, let me not eat my words. Yep, you can do everything for free. So you can use ConvertKit, which is free on the basic plan. I think it's like your first X amount of subscribers, and then I think you have to pay from there if you go, you know, if you get more. You could use something like Squarespace, which has like a free cover page. Actually, I think you do have to pay for hosting. So, but you just make a website that has the form on it that's like, get your free, you know, webinar, guide, checklist, something, you know, something like that. Josh, good to see you. Let's see. I should make that freebie over the next couple weekends. Hello, Heather. Hello, everyone. Can you do a video on setting up a landing page and benefits of having one? Yes. Such a great idea. And here's the thing, Samantha, because your girl already made that video and felt like it wasn't good enough. So it's been sitting on my computer because I was like, no one's going to watch this. Oh, I'm so annoyed. So I should have pushed publish on that. But maybe it's time to maybe I can make a better one. But yeah, okay, so you guys are giving me ideas. I'm going to do landing page. We're going to do email. And then probably a paid community. Paid. Cool. Hi, Robert. Good to see you. Dr. Sev, I added my freebie link under my videos as of last week's video. I went back and added it to all 100 plus of my videos, and it can be just a landing page and not an entire website. So here's the thing. I mean, this. Boom. Don't build a website. Do not build a website. If you have a website, great. If you don't have a website, don't build one because it's a lot of work. What you want is a landing page, which is basically one page with one call to action. So you can think of a website that's like, here's my about me, here's all the services I offer, here's, my podcast and my YouTube channel and my online course, and here's my bio, and there's not like one thing with a website. It's like everything, right? Like it's your home on the internet that you totally own that kind of showcases everything that you're about. A landing page is it only does one thing. It has one purpose, not just for you, which is collecting emails, but more importantly for the visitor. So instead of them meandering around like, oh, what am I going to look at? And what am I going to learn about? And who is this person? And it's more of like an exploring thing. No. They are there because of the freebie that you're going to give them in exchange for their email address. And everything on that page, one page. You don't want to like make it complicated. One page that's like, watch this free webinar to jumpstart your YouTube channel today for free, and then boom. So definitely Dr. Sav is right on the money here. Doesn't have to be a website, just a landing page. Do I have a video on this? No, I'm curious. Do I have a video on this? I don't remember. Leadpages. Oh, I do. Okay. So this is over on my vlog channel because I don't know. Sometimes I get confused, but it's over there. It's this is just reviewing the difference between Squarespace and Leadpages for a landing page builder. So if you want to build a website, go with Squarespace. Leadpages isn't meant for that. But if you want to build a landing page super easy, Leadpages is the way to go. And I kind of break down the differences here in this video, which I will link here in the chat if you want to check it out. But I'm a big fan of Leadpages because it's templates and it's so easy. It's drag and drop, and it's just so easy. You can make a landing page in like 10 minutes, I promise. Cool. All right. So here we go. Rahul, landing pages with email automation is awesome. Yes. Don't let the lack of a freebie stop you from setting up your email campaign software first. So yes. Thank you, Keely. Yes, that's the truth. I've experienced setting up the campaign software, so that'll be easy part for me. There you go. I build one and no one goes there. I spent so much time building it and no traffic. So this should be a video. So here's the thing, right? We have to think about it as a funnel. So you need an audience first and foremost. Like you need people to know who you are, whether that's through YouTube videos, through a podcast, through Instagram, through, whatever it is. For me, I'm biased. I'm all about the YouTubes. But maybe it's a blog, maybe it's whatever, right? You need a place where you are connecting with people who don't know who you are. And then you can direct all those people to your landing page where they can get onto your email list, right? So there's like steps in a chain, which, yeah, you guys have all convinced me this is going to be the next video. You should totally do this. Your advice has nothing but helped me. Thank you, Jackie. WordPress is fast as well. I don't have a landing page, just a website. So, I mean, like, you can think of a landing page as a web page on a website, right? But the difference is that if you go to HeatherJustCreate.com, you're going to get my full website. But if you go to, let me go to one of my things here. If you go to, I'm going to my description. Here. If you go to this. I think you can go to YouTube Jumpstart. This is my landing page. So it's just, why am I so ginormous right now? Yeah. So you see, like, so this is my landing page. It's like, here's my free workshop. You put in your email. If you want more info, there is more info, but it's just like, it's not about me. It's just about the webinar. And then you can contrast that to HeatherJustCreate.com, which is like, here's if you want to work one-on-one with me, I've got my consulting, here's our mastermind, here are my tutorials, the tools I work with, about blah dee da dee da dee da. Like, it's there's a lot. It's not just like one. It's about me. It's not necessarily about you. So it's the difference. So if you have like a website, what you can do is just build a web page to direct people to, and then it only has that one call to action. Cool. Why do I keep pushing that button? All right. I missed getting a high quality guest due to my lack of website at the time. Oh, wow. Interesting. So, yeah. Really? I would think that the YouTube could serve that purpose, but all right, guys. So, with that said, I think that I can, I think thanks for the ideas. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for coming along the journey with season 1 of From 1 to 100. It has been awesome, and thanks for the feedback, because a lot of you here have, I've read your comments, I've read your messages, and we've connected, and a lot of what has been shared, you've said that it's been helpful, and I'm so glad that it's not just like ramblings in my head, but it really has been helpful, and the more that I can be an advocate for this space and help you guys, it's like everybody wins. So I'm excited for, Q4. The YouTube Huddle Up will still be here. So I did have to take last week off, but we'll be back on Friday. And then the other thing is, I will just kind of do this plug. If you want to do the deep dive, right? Like if you want more coaching and you want more regular kind of workshopping like this, but more about your channel in particular, I definitely recommend that you join us over on the Just Create More community hosted by Tom and I. That's another thing, is I have plans to do like workshopping, brainstorming, office hours. We have a YouTube tags workshop. We have a camera basics workshop, but I also want to do just kind of like, icebreakers and just hang out with other creators and connect, because I think that's also important. So if you want like a digital space to be a part of, definitely check out the Just Create More community. It's $20 a month. You go to justcreatemore.com. So if you want to like continue this conversation, we could do that over there. And then we'll see. Maybe I'll pick this back up Q1 2022. I can't believe that's around the corner already. But with that said, I will see you guys on Friday for the YouTube Huddle Up. And thanks again for joining me. Let's see. I just want to say bye to you here. I want to build a wargaming community on Mighty Networks. Look forward to your videos. Oh, that'd be awesome. Thanks always for the great information. One thing I was advised to do, to post a transcript of my YouTube podcast on my website podcast page to build SEO. Yes, that is definitely a tip. You help so many of us, Heather. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to direct them to your website landing page in your call to action when you do your YouTube videos. Yes. Sup? What's up, Rob? All right, guys, everyone, take care. Catch you guys later. Thanks for joining me. Oh, we're going to do the closeout screen. Actually, I don't think I have a solo closeout screen. I think I do. Okay. Bye, everybody. Boop.